Hey guys, we're just doing another video. This one's talking about filling in the gaps. You know how sometimes you have some areas in your lives that might be, as far as we're concerned, they might be completed. But then there are also areas in our lives where we might feel like, there's still some work going on there. And there may be some gaps that's preventing the work from being progressed at a rate that we really would prefer for it to. So right now we're looking at a door that we're replacing in our apartment. And this is the inside of the door. So there's some gaps on the outside. I don't know if you can see the gaps. There's some gaps that we have to fill in. But we can't just do it all with the mortar. The mortar is mixed 3-to-1. I want it to be somewhat strong, but not too strong, but it's mixed 3-to-1. See what I did there? 3-to-1, and I have some rocks. So we put the mortar into the gap, and then we push rocks in there to build it up. So let me just give you a quick illustration of it. First, we have to wet the area with water. It's kind of a messy job because life can be messy, can't it? Now I'm going to take the mortar and apply it in the gap. Then I put a rock in there. See how the rock just bonds into the gap? Then we continue the process by putting some more mortar around to get the rock to fill in the gap. Funny thing, you see the things in the way that I couldn't really move because sometimes we have to learn how to work in tight quarters, and that's how it is with God, isn't it? Sometimes we don't give Him too much room to work. Sometimes we give Him a small margin of gap to work with. So that's how it is for me today. I'm working on the tight quarters, so that's how it is. So we just want to make sure that we give God the space and the room so that He can do a good work. That's the process that I have to continue to do. Even once I get it all filled in, then we'll be able to finish it all better. But the whole thing is filling in the gaps. A lot of times it's hard to fill in those big gaps because when stuff is applied, it could easily fall out. So we have to make sure that it really gets set right in there, gets bonded in there, and positioned in there. Just like we allow God to fill in the gaps in our lives. There's some areas in our lives where we may have big gaps. So in order for us to allow God to apply His word, which is the rock, apply His word into those gaps in our lives, to fill in those areas, to make those areas build out so that they can be completed. We just have to be patient and allow God to do the work. But we want you to be encouraged today in knowing that just like I have gaps in my life, you have gaps in your life, but allow God to do the work so that we can see that end result. But if you were to look at this door on the outside, you'll see finished product. Because my son Ernest worked on it yesterday, he finished it off. But today, we're filling in the gaps to prepare for him to finish off the inside. Yep, we just showed you a little bit of the outside. Of course, it's not totally finished because we have to prime it and then seal it. So there's a work in progress still even on the outside, even though it may look like it's finished, but it's not quite finished yet. So we want to make sure that at the end of the result, we see a good product. It's not just a one-man job. Sometimes there's other people that's going to be working in conjunction with the person that's filling in the gaps. God will use people to help to fill in those gaps, because then He'll also use other people to help finish off that product. So it's nice and looking sharp and crisp. So you be encouraged today as you allow God to fill in your gaps. God bless you.